Hello, everyone, and welcome to Dan the Physics Man coming at you with a KSP Let's Play. So I'm going to keep this nice, high and tight because, just like Papa Dragon, I do want to be home for dinner, and I'll let the game speak for itself a little bit. So here we go, and this is a money-making mission with tourists DD, Daggle, and Debkin, assuming sisters because of the D's. And here we go. 3. Yep, everything's good. And we have liftoff of the Space Taxi 1.1. Its mission: pay the bills. I will say this is a much longer introduction where I covered everything, but this is just a straight up, this is how you fly a jet. This is how you fly a rocket, jeez. And get back without getting wrecked. So as you can see, we have, wait, where is it? I'm just all over the place today. Oh, right here, duh. So as you can see, our delta V is going to slowly decrease to a point where we will run out of our solid fuel. And the second that happens, ooh, we're getting hot. Okay, the second that happens, disengage, and then let our other rockets take over. So now we've entered orbit, or a height at which the game decides, you know what, that's orbit, buddy. And then we'll come in here, wait till we leave the atmosphere, and then we'll start burning. Because in order to get into orbit, Physics 101, gotta go upwards and then sideways super fast. And this is a very simple 3-stage design here where you saw my solid fuel fall off. Now my liquid fuel is going to take over. As soon as this thing turns on. Oh, there we go. And though I was about to say, our orbit speed's not going very fast, is it? No, for us is a max of 240 kilonewtons. Oh, there it is, yeah. Okay. We're just going to cut the power and get up to that apoapsis. And there we go. We'll just go a little bit below. And then we'll hit the engines. So our apoapsis doesn't change too much because we're just trying to get into orbit. So generally it's more efficient to try and keep our apoapsis steady as your orbital trace increases. Eventually it'll hit itself in the back. And then we will have ourselves a nice tidy orbit. Something that I always neglect is that the soundtrack for this game is actually quite nice. And there we go. We are now in orbit. Yeah, tourists are all like, oh man, we made it to space. And then like Valentine's like, oh yeah, we made it to space and didn't die. I'm going to get paid so much money for this. So they're just chilling in here. Chilling like villains in this place. So we're going to go ahead and give a nice full orbit. Coming all the way around. We got our payday here. Yeah, 17 grand, 8 grand. Oof, we got science, and we got, sweeko. It'll come around. You see it's getting close to 70, but not quite. And then the alternator starts to say, yep, we're going up. There we go. We'll go all the way around the planet. Completing a count of 1 lap. And I'm not sure. I think the space station has low orbit, and it does this every 40 minutes. In game time, I can't. Oh, what is it? Oh, yeah, 40 minutes. Apparently, these guys do their homework, which I'm always so thrilled to see. So now we're going to. Actually, wait, are we in range for this? We are in range for this. We're going to do another rotunda because we're trying to land in a different place we haven't landed before. Because we never landed in Kerbin's deserts. And so there is a decent amount of science waiting for us if we can land all our equipment and not lose a piece like last time. So we will, let's see if we can do it. We only got 49 units of liquid fuel. So we will go ahead and stop it right around here. And we'll maneuver around. So we got 360 meters per second of stopping power if we just turn around the other direction. That's how you break in space, by the way. Just fire a rocket in the other direction, which is awesome. Because then when someone says reverse thrusters, like, psh, okay, you Star Trek, you Star Wars dudes, you literally made 2 engines when you could have just done 1, and then have actuators in there or something. I think we're getting that right. You can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that. So here we go. Slow down. Probably gonna burn all our fuel doing this. And we're out. A little nice little flame out animation there. So hopefully we're in. This should take us in the desert somewhere around here, because it's generally 10 to 25% of your orbit is lost. Because this orbital line is awesome, but it does not include atmospheric drag effects, because that is where KSP admits wholesomely that it does not have a team of PhDs like NASA does calculating that for you and saying, yeah, you're gonna land here, my dude. Because I remember, was it astronaut Chris Hadfield said something about, oh yeah, NASA is so awesome, I can land within I think it was a 1 kilometer, 5 kilometer circle anywhere on the planet, which was awesome if you think about that. Like, just here in New York is like, well, I'm in LA, so it's like not in LA, geez. I'm in Albuquerque because I'm all over the place. I'm all over these cities doing good things in my life. But anyway, so 2,000 miles from LA to New York, and it will be, to think that he could land in a 10-mile, in a kilometers, in a 3-mile spot anywhere along that place is just terrifyingly awesome to think about. So anyway, we're going to decouple, have this thing go ahead of us and die a flaming death. Because we are efficient. We do not litter our orbital field. No, sir. We're going to get our chutes ready. All of them set to deploy. These are custom, by the way. I always have them deploy just a bit ahead because you never know. If one of these fails, I've had one of them fail on me before. If one fails, even though I have 2, the weight of this thing is actually quite high. So I've had one fail, and they both fail, and then the other parachutes can't kick in. So it's a system. Which I really should have more of these, but because we are beginning the game, our facilities don't have the ability to support more than 30 parts at the moment. So we had to be very economical with our choices here. So we will get in and back. We'll come on back. So, So just something to appreciate, just the beauty of this game. It really is like, going back is usually like, when I was first playing this game, I admit it was the scary part because I was like, geez, look at that, and we're coming right over the desert. Oh, this is great. Okay, are we gonna have any new science here? We are gonna have new science because we had never flown over the desert before. So we're gonna rotate a little bit, because we want to have our science make it to the ground. Because that last time we got screwed because our science did not make it to the ground. Our goo unit didn't make it, and we were like, "Aw, why you gotta be so rude?" But anyway, so now we're gonna see, is the pressure different? Apparently the pressure's not different. Is the temperature different? Apparently the temperature's not different. Son of a gun. Is the crew report different? Okay, whatever. Anyway, this is the part where our blader does its job. So this thing will slowly absorb and redirect heat away by expelling particles, much like ashes off a log. This ablator is going to ablate, literally catch on fire, and slow our ship. Because little do you know that when ashes are actually falling off a log is being pushed into the ground. That's part of why it breaks apart. I say that statement with hubris because I'm not actually 100% sure, but I can be reasonably sure. Okay, we're actually going to switch this to, there we go, to surface. Ooh boy. Okay, we're gonna keep rotating so that our parts make it. We're actually going a little hotter than we usually do because we normally don't descend with this. Okay. We're having an issue because somewhere along the line something's not too well balanced. Yeah, our blade is really doing a lot of work. Oh no. Oh, we lost something, did we? No, we didn't lose anything. That was something else crashing. Oh yeah, that this. Woo! No, we're not going to be over the desert. We're going to have to walk. Probably. I do have half a thought to bail my guy out because he can make the walk. Yeah, we're over the shores now. Desert's that way. Yeah, no, it's way too dangerous to bail out at this time. These are still flying around. 300 meters per second. I want to say that's 700 and something miles per hour. So we're falling like super quick. Also, where are our parachutes? I was about to say, shouldn't they be deploying right now? Oof. That acceleration, enough to knock out anybody. You're going to fall right in the ocean. Man, we were trying to get to the desert and all that. Oh, well. Take some measurements, make sure we have all the science we need. I keep mentioning science because in this game, I'm playing career mode, which is the way everyone should play. Don't you dare start with everything. That's not how life is supposed to work. Do career mode, it's more fun. But anyway, I've done that. That's my little rant. But, yeah, so in career mode, as you complete contracts and things, you get your science, and your science can in turn, in a quite realistic fashion considering all else, research new parts and new equipment and new technologies to get you even further to research even more science, and that keeps on pushing the limits of humanity farther and farther and farther. Which is just such a beautiful thing. That this game quite successfully emulates, I honestly have to say. It does a fantastic job of just helping people understand, because a lot of people don't understand, why are we going to space? Why are we doing this stuff? It's just because science. Say, well, science, we can do it on the planet. It's like, yeah, but we've kind of been everywhere on the planet. Where we haven't been? We haven't been on the surface of Mars. Like, they have all these, like, we know enough about what we need to know to go to these fantastic places and look up even more science. Because in this game, they do a great job of showing the direct value of science in regards to innovation, which I think a lot of schools don't. But that's just me talking smack, I guess. I don't know. I don't want to get too political, even though it doesn't really seem like politics. It's just like, school systems should, do their part in preparing people to be technically literate in the future. But, I would assume that fans of this game or people trying to get into this game would agree with me on that note of being technically literate. So, yes, so this game does that. And then it also has this resource called Reputation, where if your reputation is very good, you'll get awarded more for missions, and you'll get more missions that are much harder, but, reward more. So, it's like a double-edged sword. I've seen players who keep the reputation low just so they could do missions like these where it's just tourists trying to get in orbit, like 50 of them to get money that way, which is, it's a way to play it, because it is like a business. You have a commodity, get into space, and you have people who are willing to pay, tourists. So it's a way to play. But normally, like if this is NASA was doing it, I'd be like, all right, how about someone else do that stuff? Because that stuff is awesome, but I wouldn't want to be doing the same thing over and over again. And then I will go over and do the moon stuff, which I will get into after this, because we actually have a part now. Why do we have this on? Yeah, let's leave this off. We don't run out of charge just in case we did make a last-minute maneuver. We can talk a lot of smack, but let's take this bird home. But yeah, that is how you successfully do a super low-tech tourist mission and break even. I think we made, I deleted it, but we made around 40 grand on this, and this ship only cost 10 grand. So definitely you can repeat this and make a ton of change. Generally, I tend to do this maybe 3 times, only because at low tech most rockets don't cost over 50. So, you're making money for your investment, sure, but what's you're making money for your rockets, sure, paying the rent and all that. You don't actually pay rent, that's an expression. But what I am doing Yeah, see, let's see. Yeah, we actually made 40 on this, I think. Oh, these pilots are some stuff. Yeah, so what is important is this. We need patched conics. Because I discussed this last video, but I will briefly discuss it just again. So, as you notice, when we were in orbit, it was just this thin little gray line, and didn't really have much detail to it. But if we were to approach an orbiting body with a little gray line, then a little gray line would change and adjust and show the relative change in our orbit due to the new orbiting body. So it's a nice little tool. Well, it's actually an essential tool, because otherwise you're eyeballing it. You're like, I think that gray line's close enough. It's like, NASA has like 500 PhDs who do that, or probably not that many, probably like maybe 20 or something. I don't know. I don't have a PhD myself just yet, but some large amount would be doing that kind of work. So rather than you call up, or low key, I could. Okay, whoops, that's not what I want to do. I'm pretty sure that if there was interest expressed to me, I would happily work out those mechanics, because yes, I took a relativity course, and I took a mechanics course, and I took a whole bunch of courses. I have a bachelor's in physics, and I'm working on my master's now, so I can definitely go into it with those who would care to go into it, because I love explaining things to like 10 people and stuff. But anyway, I'm just going all over the place. We need patch conics, because we can't eyeball this. Or I can't. Maybe you can. And you're above me for being able to save 225 grand. But so we're going to go ahead and do this. And now, get a nice little visual upgrade to the tracking station. Looks all pretty. It's got like these panels on it. And now it can do other things that we can't see because we don't have anything in orbit. But that is my B. So do tune in next time, where we will launch a satellite to the moon, fulfilling essentially what is the campaign, quote unquote, where you get these missions that never expire, where you get a pretty hefty chunk of change for reaching some milestone. This one is just fly by the moon, gather science data. So I'm going to send a sat to do that, because it is not our time yet, but soon it will be. We're short on money, and we're only going to have 30 parts. I'm actually going to look real quick before I end this. I'm going to see, am I part limited on my ship? I made a quickie pods and okay, Space Probe 1. Let's see, is this parts limited? Yeah, it's parts limited. 39 parts. Why do I have so many parts? Oh, because my satellite up there has all these solar panels, and I want it to be able to see the sun at all angles, so we are probably going to have to do some stuff, but that's for another day. For now, I will be signing off and leaving this as next time on Dan the Physics Man. We will go into getting this hunk of junk to the moon, or orbiting the moon. It doesn't have to orbit; it's just a flyby. Just anyway, we'll call it a day. Happy exploring out there, people.